Hello, and welcome to the March Family Enrichment presentation from Springbrook Behavioral Health System. My name is Sheila Dickerhoof, and I am the Certified Occupational Therapy Assistant working with the children here. I graduated from Greenville Technical College in late 2016 and began working at Springbrook in June of 2017. I was well aware of Springbrook and the work that they do with children that have autism because I did my Level 2 training here. I saw children change for the better during that training and wanted to be part of the team helping these children. I'm going to be discussing calming sensory spaces and how to create one at home without spending thousands of dollars. The advantages of having a calming sensory space are many. Your child will feel safe in that space. When a child becomes upset, they often feel out of control. Knowing that there is a safe space nearby can help them to not only calm down from a meltdown, but also to prevent them. If you notice your child becoming anxious, you can ask them to go to their calming space. In time, your child may learn to use the space independently. You can also control how much stimulation they're getting in this space. Even though it is their space, you ultimately control the items in the area. You can adjust them over time to meet your child and their changing needs. Your child will have easy access to some of their preferred coping skills to help them calm down. Actually, both you and your child will be able to get to those items, so you may not have to search for a fidget or a stuffed animal, causing the situation to escalate. They can be immediately available. How to begin? First, you have to find a suitable space. This will vary widely based on how your home is set up. Look to see, is there a space that your child already uses for calming down? Or do you have an out-of-the-way corner or alcove that would work? Be creative. Consider your child and their specific needs. What are their preferred items? Do they like stuffed animals, or do they prefer rolling Matchbox cars to calm down? Do they like soft fleece blankets or weighted items, or both? Maybe they like something else that you could add for a sense of comfort. Think about what are their coping skills. Would a visual with some breathing exercises help? Those can easily be found on the internet. Do they like to do puzzles? Put a couple small ones in there. What colors would they like? Research shows that blues and greens are calming. However, this is where your child's specific needs and likes come in. If they prefer purple, then use purple or red. Now we're ready to begin looking for items to place in this space. A pop-open tent is a great beginning. It gives the child their own space. You do need to consider your child and their safety needs, though. The tents pictured both have the poles on the outside, and they both have windows so that you can still monitor your child even when they're in their own space. Both of these tents were found on Amazon for under $40. You could source them anywhere, though: yard sales, friends, family, thrift stores. Another thing to remember is that the tent or a pop-open playhouse can be easily taken with you on a trip. It can be difficult when in a new space, and having your familiar, comforting, calm-down tent in the hotel can often help with that sense of anxiety. Next, we're going to look at some lighting. Lighting is optional, of course, in this space, but it can help when your child's upset. There are many of these projectors that project stars and planets onto the walls and ceiling. Some children like to lay on their backs and look at the stars on the ceiling. Items that have a similar purpose in sensory rooms like those in a clinic can cost over $1,000, while these can be found online for $20 to $30 each. Fairy lights or Christmas lights can also be an inexpensive option. Many of them are battery operated and come with remote controls. You can change the color of the lights, and some will even change and blink with the music that is playing. You must always remember to keep safety in mind when putting any of these items in your area. Blankets and pillows. Many children find comfort in blankets and pillows. The two most common types are weighted blankets and soft, fuzzy fleece blankets. Weighted blankets are now easily available and come in many sizes. A blanket would be a great thing to have for your child to help you choose for the space so that it will really feel like their own. There are many pillow options also. The sequin pillows that change color are a great tactile item that can help your child calm down. They can sit in their sensory space, rubbing their hand back and forth across the pillow, watching it change color. Now is when you can get really creative and use what works for your child. Does music help them to calm? If so, you can put a small, inexpensive MP3 player in the space preloaded with some calming music, or a Bluetooth speaker that you can control from across the room. Weighted stuffed animals or regular stuffed animals are also a great option. Weighted stuffed animals can get expensive when you buy them at the store, so I often pick them up at a thrift store and DIY them. You open up one of the seams and then add a Ziploc bag with weighted pellets inside. You can also use aquarium gravel in place of the weighted pellets. Sew them back up and you have a nice weighted stuffed animal for a lot less money. Fidgets are always a nice option for these spaces. You can get them in a variety box and place several in the tent. See what works for your child and what doesn't, and switch them out as needed. Remember that change can be good. You want to add new things like the fidgets to keep it fresh, and always make sure that everything stays clean within your sensory space. You also want to add any items that you're going to need for new coping skills that your child has learned. Where to buy the items. First, look around and see what you have at home. You may have many of these items sitting around your house that your child prefers that you can put inside a sensory tent or a sensory area. Amazon is always a good source, and many of the pictures in this slideshow were taken from there. Target and Walmart have most of the items. You can also look at yard sales and thrift stores. You can also DIY some of the items like I explained with the weighted stuffed animals and make them yourself. That'll save some money. Remember that this space is for calming down and to be calm. Some children can try and use their sensory space as a way to get out of tasks that they do not want to do, and this should be avoided. Please keep your child's safety in mind at all times. I appreciate you taking your time to view this video. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at sheila.dickerhoof@springbrookbhs.com.